And a 3, and a 2, and a 1, and a hair. Okay, hey everybody, Kevin here for CrackBerry.com. I'm going to do my From the Editor's Desk post sitting on my balcony this week instead. I've been doing a lot of typing at my desk lately, so a few minute break isn't a bad thing. And also last week, I said hello from Waterloo, but I didn't really say goodbye. So here's my goodbye Waterloo, I'm back home. Thank you for the hospitality, everybody, Research in Motion, everybody there. It was a great action-packed couple of days. And it came at a great time, because a couple of weeks ago we got the worst news ever, which was BlackBerry 10's delayed until 2013, which sucked, even for a BlackBerry fanatic and fanboy and, just a guy who wants to see RIM succeed. Even my faith was shaken after that news, and I started to believe the trolls and think, geez, maybe BlackBerry 10 will never come to market, which would suck. But it was hard not to have those thoughts, right? And the reporting after that, the media sentiment went pretty brutal on RIM. The week after that, we saw RIM take control of their message. They got Torsten Heinz into the Globe and Mail. He did his editorial piece. He did his follow-up Q&A. We got to interview Rick Costanzo from RIM, which was really good. I loved his energy, loved his message. So going to Waterloo last week, I was more cautiously optimistic, but not quite, the always optimistic fanboy. I was a little bit more curious to see what would happen while there. And I didn't really know what I'd fly into. Last year I went to the AGM. I flew to Waterloo. It was a great first trip, but literally I went the last week of RIM in its normal state. The current CEOs were there, the full workforce was there. I literally came home from Waterloo, and then it was layoff time, and people started leaving, and everything changed. So going back this year, a lot can change in 365 days. I mean, new management, new CEO, just a great attitude there. I was kind of expecting to see depressed people thinking scared, they were scared or something, but no way, man. This company is probably performing better than I've ever seen it perform before in the many years I've been following RIM. And, I said that at BlackBerry World earlier this year in May, where I was like, wow, a couple months with a new CEO, and this is a different company. And seeing it in Waterloo, same thing. I mean, everybody's on the ball getting stuff done. So a few quick things to talk on. I mean, one, the AGM. Interesting, obviously you have some angry shareholders who are ticked off because their investments are down, understandably. But for the most part, probably went as expected. I mean, RIM's sticking to their guns in terms of their priority, where they feel they can build the most shareholder value is in bringing BlackBerry 10 to market, which I completely agree with. I think doing anything in the near term different than that, splitting the company apart or licensing and that, it just doesn't make sense now. A year ago, maybe it made more sense, but now it's like, splitting off to hardware, that hardware division would just get into the low cost, manufacturer handset game. There's not much value there. The software is worth more when BlackBerry 10's done, so selling something now wouldn't make sense. You can't license right now until it's done. It's all about bringing BlackBerry 10 to market. And at that point, if there's options you need to explore, at least you explore them then, and the pieces are all worth a lot more. So anything between now and then is really just anybody who says anything other than bringing BlackBerry 10 to market, I would really like to hear their justification, because right now it's all about bringing BlackBerry 10 to market. And they're going to do it. It was interesting too, because after the AGM, the next day I went to BlackBerry HQ. I talked to RIM's new CMO. I talked to Torsten Heinz, the CEO. And that was a great experience, because you got to see these guys literally not just talk about, the future, but it's literally they're doing it today, right? Like they're doing the things that are leading up to the launch of BlackBerry 10. So I mean, one of the questions on my list for the CMO was, are you going to have carrier support here? Are carriers going to pick it up? Because that's kind of my mentality. I'm outside of the day-to-day picture. I'm not seeing this. And he's like, yeah, we have carrier support. These discussions are in progress. We're lining up our channels. We're lining up the dates. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's the details they're working through, right? It's the how and exactly when and all that kind of stuff. So that's exciting, right? Because it shows it's happening. For it to not happen now, something majorly bad would have to happen. And I think RIM's being really smart because they kind of know what the bad things can be. You know, they're cutting costs like crazy, so they have more financial flexibility, more money in the bank to give them more time. You know, they're right-sizing the company. You know, that's hard. You don't want to let anybody go, but you know, you have to do those things, and it's going to save money. It's going to make them more flexible into the future also. So they're kind of already, I think, as a company, planning for the worst case sort of scenarios so that they can deal with them to bring BB10 to market. And it sounds like everybody's on side. You know, carriers are on side. I think a lot of their customers are still on side. I think a lot of people are all, you know, nobody's going to be completely blind believers. There's a lot of work for RIM to do, and they you know, the company put itself in a challenging place. But coming home from Waterloo, you know, I'm really glad I went, because now my faith is restored that, yeah, BB10 is going to come to market. It's not a question of if anymore. It's really just that the details need to get filled in. And we have a better understanding of exactly how it's going to come to market now too, which was awesome. So, I mean, the big news of the week from, I think, the community standpoint was, you know, Torsten told us, you know, Frank Boubin, the CMO, you know, he's already presented his marketing plan to management and the board, and everybody loved it. And part of that that plan is to basically announce both the full touchscreen BlackBerry 10 phone and the keyboard version at the same time. You know, they won't launch the same day, but they'll launch very close together, with the full touchscreen coming first. So RIM will literally say, you know, all the marketing, all the launch announcements, all the promotion will be around both the devices and BlackBerry 10 at the start. So it'll be, you know, BlackBerry 10, here's what it's all about. Pick your flavor, if it's full touch or keyboard. You know, full touch available this date, keyboard version available this date. And gone will be all this confusion of, you know, oh, RIM's abandoning the physical keyboard with their first full touch phone, because you know that's what would happen. People just don't get it. So this way RIM's being really smart, and I think they've learned from all the mistakes over the years, and now this is their shot to get everything right. And everything I saw in Waterloo this week, or last week I should say, is RIM getting things now correct. And everybody's working their butts off to get the product done. You know, I think Heinz has made the right call in terms of sticking to his guns and saying, look, I don't want to launch any products ever again from this company that are less than 100%. And if that means we need to delay a little bit, so be it. And also, you know, the rationale that, you know, Frank kind of clued us in on, in terms of launching in Q4, and that, you know, even if they had the full touch ready to go per initial plans, it isn't necessarily better for them than if they launched in Q1. Just in terms of, if you want to get there for the holiday season, you literally need to get there in September to get the full efficiency of the carrier marketing and the carrier sort of ramp up in process. And for that reason, it kind of makes more sense to get in there in Q1. Plus, there'll be a little less noise in the market at that point. So, you know, new platform for the new year, BlackBerry 10. Super excited. I'll kill this because now I'm just starting to rant on. Let me check my notebook here, my made for BlackBerry playbook Moleskin, to see if I am missing anything that I want to talk about. I went through my general take on things, the AGM. Yeah, Mobile Nation's World Tour. So, you know, I obviously put my Android phone away that I've been using for the last month on part of my World Tour experience, trying out the competition. I went to the Torch in honor of the Olympic Torch for last week, and I came home and I love using the Torch so much. I haven't gone back to my Android phone like I'm supposed to. So I got to do that soon so I can get some content up on Android Central, do my final Android take, and I think next week I'll probably switch to Windows Phone if all goes well, or maybe it'll be 2 weeks. We got lots of time still between now and BB10, so this this World Tour thing will carry on for a little while. The hair's getting ridiculously long, but I'm going to keep it up for now because I said I would until, you know, Miss CrackBerry kills me, which could be sooner than later, because I think she's already thinking it's maybe as long as it should ever get. So we'll see how that goes. And in general, I think, you know, the one thing that I'm going to be doing more of over the next weeks and months ahead is just getting the story right out there, because I'm really starting to get mad now at the amount of just bad reporting as it pertains to research in motion and BlackBerry. You know, it's really easy these days to write the heavy-hitting negative story on RIM that gets a lot of clicks. I mean, it's easy. The data's out there. But again, the data's sort of a reflection of the past. It's not exactly pertains to what's happening on the ground in Waterloo right now and what they're lining up. Obviously, nothing's for certain, right? But there's a lot of good in the story, the way I look at it right now. And there's just a lot of reporting that's, I don't know how to say it. It's like, I don't mind if people report the facts that are negative. That's fine, right? I never sugarcoat the facts. Like, you can't mess with facts. That's why they're called facts. And opinions are opinions. As long as you clearly state that it's an opinion, that's cool. Where I start to get mad, though, is when people take opinions and then start rewriting them as facts and then start just, like, bastardizing everything. And that's kind of the world we live in right now, it seems. So, I don't know. I've been watching that new Newsroom show on HBO, and I guess it's turning me into more of a journalist. But, one of these days I might have to cut the hair so I can increase my serious factor. Although, that's one of those things, right? People say, Kevin, sometimes you have too much fun. I always like to have fun, but everybody knows I'm probably one of the most serious guys out there. So, I have fun when I can, but when I gotta get serious, watch out. So, on that note, let's wind this from the editor's desk down, and I shall talk to you guys all soon. Kevin out.